This is day 273, Burn the Boats. Burn the boats, then tell the world. I've noticed that some goals stay neat and safe for a long time. They sit in a notebook or in the back of my mind, and they sound important every time I think about them, but they do not move. Then something changes. I say the goal out loud. Other people hear it, and suddenly it is no longer an idea. It is now a commitment. That is the uncomfortable truth. A lot of us do not need a better dream. We need fewer exits. When retreat is still possible, commitment stays theoretical. Burn the boats gets treated like a dramatic line, the kind of thing you say when you want to feel bold for a few minutes. I do not think that is the point. The point is not emotion. The point is structure. If there's still an easy way to back out, part of you will want to keep negotiating with yourself. You will call it being realistic. You will tell yourself you are staying flexible. You will protect your options. And every one of those options becomes a quiet invitation to quit. Real commitment feels different because it changes the terms. You remove the exit. You stop treating success like a preference and start treating it like the necessary result. That is what makes the idea powerful, not inspiration, necessity. Success becomes more likely when the retreat is no longer part of the plan. There's also a leadership lesson here. If you want real alignment, you cannot ask everyone else to risk more than you are willing to risk yourself. The strongest commitments are shared commitments. No special escape hatch, no private exemption. Everyone is on the same sheet of music because everyone knows the stakes are real. That changes the psychology fast. Now the goal is public. Now your words and your actions have to match. Now people expect movement, not just intention. Pressure rises. So does clarity. Good. Public commitment gives the goal teeth. I've come to realize that private goals are easier to romanticize. Public goals are harder. They force definition. They force a timeline. They force action. The moment you tell people that what you are going to do, you create accountability. You also create possible support. People can encourage you, check on you, challenge you, and remind you of what you said mattered. That is useful, but let's be honest, there's another part of it. Public commitment makes backing out much more painful. That pain matters. A serious commitment needs consequences. It needs some cost for drifting. It needs a mechanism that makes delay feel expensive. Otherwise, the goal stays parked in that pleasant space where you can admire it without ever building your life around it. This is where big intentions usually break down. We say we want change, but we keep everything vague. We do not define the target. We do not measure progress. We do not name the obstacles. We do not prepare for the moment when motivation drops and resistance shows up right on schedule. That is why broad ambition is not enough. You need a concrete objective. You need a way to measure it. You need to think through the obstacles before they arrive. You need to shape your week around execution, not just around hope. Simple, but not easy. Make the commitment real today. If you want to burn the boats in a practical way, start smaller than your ego wants and more specifically than your emotions prefer. Name the goal, just one goal. State it clearly enough that another person can tell whether you followed through or not. Attach a measure to it. Identify the obstacle most likely to stop you, then remove one fallback option that has been helping you stay comfortable. And then go tell somebody. That last part matters more than most people want to admit. Once the commitment is spoken out loud, it starts to live outside of your head. It becomes social. It becomes visible. It becomes harder to quietly abandon when the first hard day arrives. Oh, you will struggle. You will still hit resistance. You may even fail. In fact, you will, in pieces before you find your footing. That is not a sign that the method is broken. It is part of the design. Growth usually does not happen while we are keeping ourselves safe. It happens when the stakes are real enough to demand a better version of ourselves. I go back to that quiet moment when a goal is just mine. Still untested, still easy to postpone. That is the moment that matters most. That is where the whole thing turns. Either I protect the exit or I close it. Today, think about that one goal and tell one person, define one measure, and remove all your excuses.